Hello all, today we are going to discuss about the auto update feature in Oracle CPQ Commerce. Okay, let us take the scenario. So how to use the auto update in Oracle CPQ Commerce. Okay, we have the scenario. We have the attribute called X. It has the three options A, B, C. So whenever the user changes the A or B or C, it needs to capture the person name and date. So today we are going to discuss how we can achieve this without clicking the save action or any button. So first, generally we need to generally how you can able to achieve this scenario means first we need to create a action. But in our case, we don't need to use the action. So we have the in BML we have the function called auto update underscore form. So we will use it. Okay. So let us open my CPQ application. So first you need to click on the process definition. So after clicking on this process definition, you need to go with your process. Here our process is cloud providers. So let's click on the list first. The first we will create a attribute. The first we will create a attribute name called X. So let me create the attribute X. The X is a menu attribute. So I am just selecting the attribute type as the menu. So after selecting the menu, we need to enter the values. So the first value is A, second value is B, third value is C. Okay, you need to click on the add entry. After that, you need to click on the add. So now the X menu attribute is created. So in our case, we are using the single select menu because user will select at a time one option. So here we are going with the single select menu. So after that, we need to click on apply. After the clicking on apply, we need to click on update. Okay. So once we click on this update, okay, after we need to create the remaining attributes called person name and person date, like review person, like a date, person name. The person name is a text attribute because the name is a string, right? So we need to create text attribute. So let me click on the add. So after clicking on the add, I'm directly going with the we need to create another attribute, right? So we need to click on the update and new. So after that, we need to click on, now we need to capture the date, right? So we need to create the data attribute. So let me give that current date. So let me give the current date. So after that, the attribute types you need to select as a date because it's a data attribute, right? You need to select the date. After selecting the attribute type as date, you need to click on add. So after clicking on the add, you have created the three attributes. Okay. After that, I'm just clicking the update. So now what you need to do, right? You have created this three attribute, right? X and attribute X and the reviewed person name and reviewed date, right? So let me add these attributes to the layout first. So let me click on back. After clicking on back, you need to select the jet responsive layout because we need to add it in the layout, right? So the UI designer will be open. Here I have created a section called a tab called auto update demo. So in the demo, we are going to add our attributes. The first attribute is X, right? So I'm just typing the X. So let it be the X. Okay, he is our menu attribute. Just drag and drop here. Okay, next attribute is person name. So let me type the person name. So let us bring it down. So next attribute is date, current date. So let me click on current date. Okay. So now we need to click on the save. Click on the save. After clicking on the save, just cancel it. Okay, after clicking on the save, now what you need to do, right? Next, we need to trigger the auto update, right? In commerce, if you want to trigger the auto update without help of the action, right? You need to go on the transaction, select the transaction. After the select the transaction, you need to override the standard function. So you need to click here the auto update before formula. So after clicking the auto update before formula, you need to update. Then you will get the now let's go to the transaction. You'll get the define function. So now you need to define your like a code. So it will help us to populate. So here what we are going to capture person name and date. So the date and username we are taking, it is a system attribute. So we can able to select directly. So let me select these two attributes. So which we are populate the username and like a date of that current transaction. So after that, we need to select our input attribute. Here, what is the input attribute? So here the input attribute is X. While select if the user is in the X attribute, if user is selecting the A or B or C, based upon that we are populating. So here we need to select our input attribute. So let us search X here. Let me search X. So okay, so okay. Okay. So I'm just selecting the X. So let me click on next. Okay. So here we got the system date and username and X, right? So here we need to write the code, what you are going to return. So I'm just writing that a return equal to, it's a string, right? So we need to give the double quotes. After that, just we need to write the if loop, if condition. So you open the parenthesis. So after that, we have the function called auto trigger to update this form. So you need to go to the reselect and you need to select that attribute. So auto update is a system attribute. So select the auto update triggered form. After this, you need to click on next. So here, if we need to give that auto, we need to import this auto update trigger form equal to. So which attribute you are going to trigger? So add menu attribute, right? So I'm just giving that attribute. So X, after that we need to open the bracket and open the close the floor bracket. So here you need to give the condition. What is your, after the condition you need to, what you are doing here, we are just storing the system date and system username. So you can directly use this. So it is a written format for the auto update. So here our attributes we need to give, right? So our attributes we will store, right? Let me go to the transaction. Let me open that attribute variable name. So just replace with here with your attribute. So here like the same way we need to replace with our attribute date. So what is our attribute current date variable name? So let me copy this and let me, okay. So here, um, okay, we need to return. So return RED. So here we are just triggering that, right? You need to write one more condition called and. So in and attribute X is input, right? X equal to x equal to a, sorry, x not equal to empty, because anything can use it. We select a or b or c. So let it be like that. Let me run this code. Okay, fine. So let it be save and close. So now we need to deploy our code. So let it be come to our process. Where is our process? Cloud providers, right? We need to go to the cloud providers. In the cloud providers, uh, click on this drop down. There is a deployment center. Click on list. You need to click on add event. So you need to click on refresh. Once the deployment is completed, we'll go through our commerce process and let us check how the auto update is working or not. So let me open the commerce process. So where is our commerce process? Cloud providers. So let me click on this manager. Okay, let me click on new transaction. So let us go to the auto update demo tab. So let me select the input as A. But if you see here, the person name and current date is not captured. So what is the reason it is not captured, right? Let us go to the, because see, why it is not captured means, see, you are writing the auto update system to trigger function, but in the input attribute also you need to enable the auto update trigger. So let me open the process definition. Let us go to the commerce process. So in cloud providers, let me open my, let us click on the list. Let us go to the attributes. So control F, our input attribute is X, right? So let us click on X. Okay. Let us drop down to down our attribute. So here you just need to enable that auto update trigger. See, there is an option called trigger auto update, right? So you need to enable the checkbox and you need to click on apply update. And let us deploy it. Let's check. So click on back. After clicking back, um, let us go to the back to the process. In the cloud providers, click on that list, deployment center, click on the list. So click on add event. So in the CPQ, in the commerce or configuration, without deployment, your changes will not be reflected. This is the main core point every developer has to know. So let me open the transaction. Okay, let me click on the, okay, let me refresh this transaction and let us check. So we need to refresh the transaction. Okay, let it be open the auto demo. So let it click with A. If you see, it is auto populated. If I click